We are here, coming from you live from Mount Olympus. No, today we got another Tutorial Tuesday, which if this isn't on a Tuesday, it's because eventually they're going to start coming out every or only when I have a tutorial. Tutorial Tuesdays on whatever day this lands on. I recently made this toolbox. Did some rust weather effect on it. I think it looks really nice for my first attempt at this. So in this video, I am going to show you how I did this. So I have another project I'm secretly working on. It's over there. I'm going to be doing a video on it as well, but this is going to be an accessory for that. So I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to do the first step and just take you from start to finish on how to do it. So here we go. We have got the cool Mount Olympus workbench. I don't know how to do this. Let's do this. There we go. All right, so styrene sheet again. Now I have cut these in advance. Top, bottom, front, back, side, and side. All right, so I'm gonna move you guys right here. Sorry for the noise. Bring you up a little bit. Okay, so I am going to keep sticking with this stuff. I was going to potentially use the testers, but I don't see a point in opening that until I'm done with this. So we are going to make a toolbox. This is a toolbox for, it goes with the wood bed, which I'll do a tutorial on as well. So keep an eye out. That's going to be coming up. I'm going to do a toolbox. This is going to be like one of those snap-on style ones that you have in your garage with all your tools in. If that gives you kind of any idea of what I'm working on, you might get that, but no, it's not like, I guess it's technically some kind of garage. Regardless, I'm going to start with the back, the bottom. So what I did to cut these, just use hobby knife, razor. I used a razor on this one. I traced it out, measured it just so they were all really close to the same size. Like those are pretty dang close. Now I'm not going to be too picky on that because you can always sand them to size. So right now, and then what I did is I just picked my dimensions. You can see that the bottom is a little bit bigger. And the reason for that is because it's going to have the front and the back and the sides on it. So I'm going to start with the bottom and the back and get them started. And then I'll put the two sides on so it can help keep it square. So I am just going to take my glue. Oh my gosh, it's just so fast right now. Usually I can just tip it upside down and it comes out a little more controlled. Fine, I'll put some on the side. I'm going to leave that. Nope. We're going to leave that right there. All right, now I'm going to take my bottom. Now I've done these and written them out just so it makes it easier. I'm going to stick that right there. And actually I did this wrong. Darnatello. You can see it's already starting to melt the styrene. And when I say melt, I mean melt the styrene. That is not ideal. I should have sanded that. But that's okay. I'm going to add a little bit more because I put it in the wrong spot. I forgot I want to put it on the bottom. in reality, you don't need too much, because once it starts melting the styrene, it's melting the styrene. So that's how that's supposed to go. Sorry, folks, for the airheaded moment. Now, if I can get that to stand long enough, I can put styrene or glue down the side of my styrene. And on the bottom right here. Now this will just help me kind of get some structure going on in the piece. There we go. Beautiful. Beauty. Now I'm gonna, oh no, it's gluing to me table. I'm gonna do the other side and the front, just because it's going to give me structure. Got the start of something awesome here. So now, once this dries, I have some smaller styrene rod. I'll probably use that instead to make, so it's going to be smaller than this, but I'll just use it to make little drawer handles. That'll look real nice. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to let this dry. This takes 24 hours to set and dry. If you get impatient like me and want to paint it after a couple hours, go ahead. You're not going to hurt anything at all. I'm just going to smooth out some of the glue. Sorry, camera, you're way over there. I'm going to smooth out some of the glue so I don't have to sand it so much. And if the glue is a little blistery, that's okay, because it's going to be rusty anyways. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So there you have it. Step uno. We'll come back. We'll come back when this is all dry. I'm going to probably add some little feet to it. Yeah, add some little feet to it. Almost make it look like little rolly wheels. And then we will start our base paint. So there it is. We'll be back. All right, we are bringing back the box from paint. Step one is complete of paint. It's got a base layer, 2 layers of black. 2 layers of black. Now we are going to continue with the next paint color. So I've got the next 2 colors. One is a really dark brown. Let's see. I don't think it's going to focus on that too well, but that's about the dark brown. And then the next one is about that brown. So right now we're just starting to build and develop the layers of weather and patina that are going on this. And this is another toolbox. It is not a toolbox for the bed, but this is what we're going for. Now this one has a little bit of a different inspiration, so it's going to be a lot different. It's going to finish with as if the orange color was the final color of it, and that's rusted off. We're going back out to the paint booth. So we'll see you after coat one of brown. All right, we got the next layer of brown on it. it. Now we're going to go lighter. We're just developing the layers of color for the weathering. Now this doesn't have to be perfect because it's not like you're gonna sand it down and all that stuff. It just has to give it in enough spots that you can have the layering of the paint. So I don't know if you can tell, some spots are thick, that's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Keep that in mind. I've said that a lot. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm a perfectionist, so sometimes I get hung up on that. But just remember, it does not have to be perfect. You're gonna scratch it all up anyways. You're gonna make it look like this. So if you can tell, all the color layering in there is done by these little steps. And now I'm going to let this layer dry completely. Alright, we got the lighter brown on it. Didn't get covered all the way. And remember, that is totally okie dokers. Okie dokers. We're now going to go throw real orange on this thing. Throw real orange on it. And then might be good to go. Gotta shake the paint. Shake it good. Do you see? Can you see that right there? Right there. Where it's kind of blistering? That's perfect. Let that happen.
Why?
Because it makes it have a real rust-looking texture. Well, I got a little monkey on my back.
Ooh, you mean a tree frog?
A tree frog, yes, my little tree frog.
And
All right,
was a tree
when this is dry, we'll reconvene. Here's where we're at. Found some yellow, so I decided to experiment a little bit in just a couple spots, see what that does. But you can see how the paint isn't perfect, and the reason that's okay is because rust isn't perfect. So I'm going to put the actual color on. I might do a green toolbox. I might do a gray. And then we'll start working backwards from there to get the patina aged look. So yeah, we'll check back in when I got that final coat on it. Okay, here we are. So here is the finished color, if you will. When it was in its prime, when this toolbox was in its prime, and now I'm gonna do something. Apparently so I'm gonna take some sandpaper, weather it up as if somehow it got left outside, something or other. We're gonna start with, I got P320, and I'm just gonna start weathering. Now you don't want to go too hard because you don't want to get down to the white styrene, but my plan here is just to start on the corners. Give the top a little bit. And now this is just sanding to your heart's desire. however you want it to look. I mean, that's not terribly great, but you just kind of got to work at it, finesse it. And another tool that I really like to use for all of this is just a flathead screwdriver, so you can kind of scrape where you want it to be more weathered, and it will reach those lower layers of paint if you scratch hard enough. Because kind of what happens with the paint is when you start to sand it, it gets gummy. So I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Just getting all those different layers. Got the new rust kind of coming there and there. Another thing you can do is, let's say this toolbox suffered some pretty gnarly scratches. Just don't do too many, because let's just say something kind of scratched it real good right there. Put some scratches in it. Give me an easier piece of sandpaper to work with. Ooh, look at that. You see that color coming through? Beauty. Beauty. Now, I started with the back so I could kind of test it, because this is the front. So I started with the back and the sides, and I'm trying to expose that weathering where it would be exposed naturally. It's kind of the idea. Now you can see it's kind of taking some little digs. That's okay. I think this is turning out better than I expected. That looks really good. I'm really happy with that. I don't want too much of it to be orange. Go to the other side and kind of want this corner to be a little brighter. So just focus on it. See, it's starting to show its age. It's starting to not focus. There we go. Let's go ahead and be patient with this part. Kind of get this upper corner a little bit more. The tricky thing about a fine sandpaper is that it gunks up quicker, but that's okay, because you don't want to just take it all off. If you want, oh, see, that's looking pretty good. Can't tell if it's focusing or not. It's not focusing. But I'm going to take this Phillips head, just kind of give me a little bit of weathering in that corner, down to that really old rust. Now right here, let's just pretend someone went to put a tool on it one day and just put a nice big scratch in it. Nice. You kind of see how I got the yellow there and the orange. That adds a really nice, kind of nice contrasting look. Then at the bottom here, let's act like it's got some really old rust there, so it's basically just brown raw metal. Now if you get all the way down to the white, don't worry, because there's a little trick you can do to fix that, but I just want to expose a little bit more of this orange here because I think that orange is a nice looking orange. Put a couple more browns through that rust. Yeah, there we go. It's looking really good. Now basically just finish this throughout, and then we're going to add on to some finishing touches. So I'm just going to get this all buffed out. I'm pretty happy with that. I just got to do the front, and then I'll show you guys. I got down to the white right there, and that is totally okay because we're going to do something to fix that. So I'm going to work on this front because I can't wait for you guys to see the final product. Let's see, a little bit high on rust on this side. Let's say it was getting a little more weather than the other corner. Yeah, that's so good. A little bit of darker rust at the bottom. Yeah, there we go. So if you press a little harder on the sandpaper and kind of use the gumminess of the paint, which it's kind of funny because it's dried and everything, but kind of make that fade up a little bit. Yeah, see, I think that's looking really good. I think that's about where I want it. So now I'll show you some of those white spots, what you can do. So a paint marker is ideal, but if you just have a Sharpie, what you do is you just color it and then rub it. And that kind of looks like some darker rust. Now if you watch this, I'm just going to add some specks and then dab it with my hand. This is the part where the paint marker is way better because the paint marker acts so much nicer with the ink. Like it's just, paint marker is definitely way better because it can touch, and then when you dab it, it's just a little bit nicer, but you can darken up some of your darker rust spots. And the paint marker dabs way nicer because it doesn't dry so quick, but I wanted to show you with a Sharpie because you can definitely do it with a Sharpie. I'm going to finish up a little bit more details on the sanding on this, and then I am going to add some little drawer pulls. They're not going to be white, but I'm going to add some little drawer pulls. So I'm going to get those added, and we'll wrap this up here. All right, and some little details here. Let's see if we can do this without getting it too messy. We'll be back after these brief messages. All right. Gonna get these things painted up. I'll show you kind of what I was talking about with the paint marker. Okay, so there's some white right there. You're just gonna get it on there, and then if you dab it, it kind of lightens it. You can add layers if you want to darken these a little bit. Put a few spots. You can kind of dab it, and it really makes that dark rust darker. So I'm going to speckle all over this one right here, and then those are already pretty dark. Hopefully you can't hear my neighbor talking right now because my garage is open. Alright, I'm going to tape off everything so I can get those feet painted. Woo! So we'll see how this goes. Check it out. Here is the final toolbox. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I left the bottom black because that doesn't matter, so I didn't focus any time and energy on the bottom. I did make a little handle for the side so you can just wheel it around your garage and work on your trucks. My favorite part is right here where the yellow and the orange really made that awesome right there. But here it is. I hope you guys like this. I hope you guys go and give it a try. The same concept will work on the bodies. And I don't necessarily have a care if it's Lexan, a hard body, or a model body. They all paint. It doesn't matter. You don't have to stress about it. Just make sure you sand it a little bit. But yeah, I had a lot of fun making this tutorial. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think about it, and let me know if you've tried a different method or want to see a different method, because I do have another method coming up for this. I'll be doing a different method for this. That's going to be fun. I'll do another tutorial on that, so you'll want to keep an eye out, especially if you're into this patina scene here. Yeah. All right, this is a good example. If you get like the blistering like this with the paint, that's like perfect. I had it in a couple spots early on, but leave it. It adds realism to the rust. But there you have it, a patina toolbox, which the method can be transferred into many different areas. I patinaed the wood on this. I patinaed this toolbox. Yeah, you can really use it on anything. So thanks for joining me here on the mountain again. It was a good one. As always, I've been Brandon. This has been a lot of fun. I can't wait to catch you guys on the next one. So stay tuned, and I will catch you all later.